Lapar dia, lihat. Ya ampun, oh my god. Slowly, it's okay. That's all yours. Don't worry. Yang ada yang kita bawa. Bisa lewat ini. Tumben ada towel kalau dia ya. Sampah ini kan. Iya.
Ini nanti tak taruh kandang lepas dulu ya sampai tentunya rontok baru.
Ini terlalu kecil, obatnya terlalu kuat. Thank you. Halo, kamu cantik ya.
mo ilang safa
That's the boy.
Is the boy?
Yeah. Already got the warming.
Okay.
Keluarin nggak panas? We have everything here, and also the mom poster is right down. Everything.
Yeah, this is what
Oh, yeah, okay.
write down for you, like
There's some coming up, like, sneakily.
Lost the light for sure. Not need a lunch, Mitch.
You leave.
already know them. So yeah, it will be
Yeah, okay.
they know the history of the cat.